Drapier's Letters is the collective name for a series of 7 pamphlets written between 1724 and 1725 by the Dean of St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin, Jonathan Swift, to arouse public opinion in Ireland against the imposition of a privately minted copper coinage that Swift believed to be of inferior quality. William Wood was granted letters patent to mint the coin, and Swift's or the licensing of the patent as corrupt. In response, Swift represented Ireland as constitutionally and financially independent of Britain in the Drapier's Letters. Since the subject was politically sensitive, Swift wrote under the pseudonym M.B. Drapier to hide from retaliation. Although the letters were condemned by the Irish government with prompting from the British government, they were still able to inspire popular sentiment against Wood and his patent. The popular sentiment turned into a nationwide boycott, which forced the patent to be withdrawn. Swift was later honoured for this service to the people of Ireland. Many Irish people recognise Swift as a hero for his defiance of British control over the Irish nation. Beyond being a hero, many critics have seen Swift, through the persona of the Drapier, as the first to organise a more universal Irish community. Although it is disputed as to who constitutes the community, regardless of whom Swift is actually appealing to, or what he may or may not have done, the nickname provided by Archbishop King, our Irish copper father and Dean, and his connection to ending the controversy stuck. The first complete collection of the Drapier's Letters appeared in the 1734 George Faulkner edition of the works of Jonathan Swift, along with an allegorical frontispiece offering praise and thanks from the Irish people. Today, the Drapier's Letters are an important part of Swift's political writings, along with Gulliver's Travels, A Tale of a Tub, and A Modest Proposal. Background: in 1722, hardware manufacturer William Wood was granted letters patent to produce copper coinage of up to £108,000 for use in Ireland. The patent was secured by a bribe of £10,000 to the Duchess of Kendal, mistress to King George I. Although Wood's copper coins were subsequently alleged to be underweight, undersized, and made from inferior materials, assays had found they were not so, prior to their approval by the British Parliament for use in Ireland. The Irish complaint against Wood was not that they had enough copper coins, but that this would introduce too many coins of inferior quality into the Irish economy. These coins would remove valuable silver and gold coins from circulation in the Irish economy, and since the new copper coins would not be minted under Irish authority, there was no way for the Irish to control the quality and amount. Also, Wood's coin was only one example of allegedly unfavourable economic practices that hurt Ireland. The Irish wanted to have their own national bank and authority to mint their own coinage, and Wood's coin became a way to express their economic nationalist desires. The patent issue soon became a struggle between Prime Minister Robert Walpole and the leaders of Ireland. All attempts by the Irish Privy Council and the Church of Ireland to prevent the release of the coinage proved fruitless. It was soon thought by many that William Connolly's commissioners of the revenue might pay the soldiers stationed in Ireland with the new coin. If the soldiers were paid with the coin, then the merchants of Ireland would be forced to accept the coin from the soldiers, a risk military reprisal or a loss of business. This worried the leadership of Ireland, and they requested help in challenging Wood's patent and leading a boycott of the coin. Swift was asked by Archbishop King and Lord Chancellor Middleton to contribute to a pamphleteering campaign against Wood's coin. During this time, Lord Carteret, the British Secretary of State whose remit included Ireland, publicly pushed Walpole into defending Wood's patent. However, Carteret privately attempted to destroy the patent to damage Walpole's reputation. Thus, Carteret appeared to the British as a defender of the patent because he seemingly tried to prevent an Irish uprising against British rule, but he was really furthering his anti-Walpole agenda and aiding the Irish cause. Pamphleteering. Jonathan Swift, then Dean of St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin, was already known for his concern for the Irish people and for writing several political pamphlets. One of these, Proposal for the Universal Use of Irish Manufacture, had so inflamed the British authorities that the printer, John Harding, was prosecuted. Although the pamphlet had done little more than recommend that the Irish use the materials they produce rather than export them to England, it was also known by the Irish authorities that Swift's political pamphleteering had been employed by the Tory government of Queen Anne, and that he would use his abilities to undermine the Whig government of Walpole. Swift analyzed the forensic and economic disadvantages of Wood's inferior coinage and the effects it would have over Ireland in the first of the pamphlets, A Letter to the Shopkeepers. In the pamphlet, Swift adopted the persona of the Drapier, a common Irishman, a talented and skilled draper, a religiously devout individual who believes in Scripture, and a man loyal to both the Church of Ireland and to the King of Ireland. Swift's pseudonymous choice served two essential purposes. It provided him with an alternate persona which he could use to hide from potential political reprisals, and it allowed him to create an identity that was closely aligned with the common people of Ireland. According to 20th-century Swift scholar Irvin Aaron Price, there is debate in the academic community over how much Swift may have wished his audience to identify him as the Drapier, especially since the Drapier constantly includes religious imagery that was common to Swift's sermons. However, it is possible that the religious rhetoric used to justify an Irish rebellion against the coinage is merely meant as an important aspect of the Drapier's identity without it being meant as evidence that Swift was the author. Regardless of how secret Swift may have wanted his identity to be, it is certain that most people in Ireland, including members of the Irish Privy Council, knew that Swift was the author of the letters. Unfortunately for the Walpole administration, there was little legal proof of the relationship between the two that would justify them trying Swift as the Drapier. Over the course of a year, 4 more pamphlets, filled with invective and complaints against both Wood and his patent, followed the first. The pamphlet was successful, and public opinion became so hostile against Wood's coinage that the patent was withdrawn by 1725. At one point, Lord Carteret and the Irish Privy Council offered a significant reward of £300 for information that would verify the identity of the pamphlet's author, but Swift was neither arrested nor charged for the works. The lack of an arrest and the unity of the Irish people behind the Drapier was an important motivating factor behind Walpole's withdrawal of the patent. Irish independence. Although Swift knew that the Duchess of Kendal was responsible for selling the patent to Wood, he rarely mentions this fact in the letters. Instead, his first 3 letters describe Wood as the mastermind behind the patent. Although the Drapier constantly asserts his loyalty to the king, his words did not prevent accusations of treason from being leveled against him in response to the 3rd and 4th letters. In the 3rd and 4th letters, Swift argues that the Irish deserve independence from England but not from the king. This, of all of the Drapier's arguments, is what agitated Walpole, as the head of the British Parliament, the most. Thus, the Drapier was condemned like William Molyneux, whose case of Ireland pleaded for Irish independence using the same arguments. The claims of treason levelled against the Drapier were of treason to the English Parliament, which only caused more resentment among the Irish people, who sided with Swift's constitutional argument that the Irish people owed their allegiance only to the king.